Looking for great deals on toilet paper, sodas, beverages, snacks for the children and company or body products? Go to TBIG LLC, located at 3745 Kings Highway, Suite DC in Douglasville, Georgia 30135 to check out their full inventory. Hours of operation is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're closed from Sunday through Tuesday. Let them know you heard about them from All That Chjazze. Entertainment Networks is a multicultural and diverse world in one place, has celebrity supporters, and provides various entertainment services like branding, hosting, speaking, press kits, live interviews, and more. Just head over to www.ZOH'EEY.com to find out more. Thank you for your support. Hi, greetings and blessings, everyone. This is yours truly, Empress Chjazze Wilmington, aka All That Chjazze, aka LUPUS SLEIYER. Going to be having a wonderful person, a dear friend of mine. His name is Matthews Pickett, and here he is right now. I'm going to add him into the stream. Let's see, to adding him. Okay, there we go. Add, yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm great. Can't
Good.
complain.
I know, right? Mr. Pickett is the owner and founder of Pickett Credit Repair Solutions, and he is going to enlighten us on some information about credit. Credit has evolved over the years, as we know, with technology and with all of the different types of financial mechanisms there are now, and there's different ways to establish credit, and there's different ways now, new ways that you can ruin your credit. So he is the guy to give you guys that information. Without further ado, I'm going to let him have the camera, the spotlight, to give you all the 411 on credit repair. How are you?
I'm great. I can't complain. Just taking it one day at a time. But again, my name is Matthew. I am the owner and founder of Pickett Credit Repair Solutions. So reason being I got into credit is because I used to have bad credit. My score was like in the 400s when I first started credit. And I was like, man, what am I going to do? So basically from there on, I actually researched how to just do credit and basically took a lot of courses and classes and different stuff like that just to enlighten myself on how to become a better credit expert. And so after all that, basically did all that, and I just actually started doing like friends and family and different stuff like that. And I was like, hey, wait, I like doing this. I like helping people. And so after that, it was just like, boom, I explode into the world and help out a lot of other people to do what they need to do. So which I think is a good thing because a lot of people actually don't know how to manage their credit. They don't know what credit is, don't know how to manage it and all that good stuff. So Basically, just a couple of good tips. Basically, you have to work on your payment history. So on the FICO score, 35% of your score is basically payment history. So that means you have to have on-time payments. So basically, to get around making sure you have on-time payments, you can put yourself on auto pay, and if not, you just have to make sure that you continually or write everything down so you know exactly when to pay it, and you just pay it. So when you become get that as time, your will grow. It will grow and infant. So that's the highest part of your score. And 30% your score is basically your credit card utilization. So with credit card utilization, you just make sure that you're under the 30% mark. So that means, for instance, if you had $100 credit limit, and so you want to make sure that your balance is $30 on the statement day. And so that's the day that the creditor sends it to the credit bureaus, and that's how your score goes up or it goes down. But to be the ideal candidate for, like, if you want loans or you want your stuff there, I would suggest between anywhere between 1% and 9%. So well-being is because when you keep it that low, they like to see people who don't have a lot of credit. They don't use the balance, but they'll give you more if you use less. And what's
Gotcha.
like that? And also, when you have a credit utilization of that low, you don't want it to be at zero because it's kind of like you just have a card that's not really balanced. And so you always want to keep at least a small, just anything small onto the balance. That'll help you grow your basically your score. Those are just like the top two main parts of just like getting your score up, increasing. But it's a lot more to credit, but that's just like the top two. If you keep your credit down and keep on time payments, that will
Yeah.
actually increase your score. But you have to have like diversity. So diversity basically is like you have revolving credit and you have installment loans. So revolving credit is basically a credit card or some such that is, for instance, like it has a credit limit. You have a credit limit, you can put money onto it, but you can take it off. You can put it back and you can take it
Gotcha.
off. That's revolving. And another one that you would like to have is installment. So installment loan is basically a certain amount of money that you pay per month for a certain amount of time. That's an installment. And so like if you have different type of diversity, that's going to help your credit profile as well.
Okay. Awesome. For some reason, I can't hardly see you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like
I
you're
was
like you're in the
actually,
shadow.
yeah, I was actually in the car. I was actually running late, helping
Oh,
another client. I was like, oh my gosh, it's almost 9 o'clock. I was like, here, let me hurry up and rush. So yeah, it's not
gotcha,
really that
gotcha.
good lighting. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you can't ride in New York with your lights on in your car. That's for sure. No, you're not
Yeah,
going to
true.
do that. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
so trust we understand that. But that's a good information because I know for me,
Hmm.
one of my main issues that I've always have had with doing the auto pay, which I had always preferably preferred, is that a lot of times most companies, from my own experience,
Hmm.
always seems to have a hiccup where
Yeah.
they will overcharge or they'll
Right.
double the payment or they don't take it out altogether. And then next thing you know, you're getting late fees and then,
Hmm.
they don't report it to the credit. You didn't even know all of this stuff was going on.
Right.
So people who have experience, and I'm gonna tell you that deterred me a lot from doing auto pay. And I had never had a credit card. My first credit card I got last year. I
Hmm.
never had a credit card all through college and everything. I never had a credit card. They were sending the applications, and as quick as they sent them, I was ripping them up, throwing them out because I was seeing what other people was going through. And
Right.
so, for me, seeing so much of the negative effects of credit, I never wanted to deal with it. So my thing was to try to avoid it, but I realized you
Hmm.
can never avoid credit. It's important. It's
No.
essential. Like it's essential, like water. So you
Right.
have to have it. And so, what do you say, or what advice do you have for people who may have had those really derogative experiences on a regular basis when they've done auto pay? And I know you were saying to make a schedule to remind yourself to make the payments and everything. Me personally, I like to just go ahead. If I know I owe, I want to go. I go ahead and pay. I'm not going to be
Right.
like, okay, well, I get another check in 2 more weeks. I'll pay it. Then no, if I have the money, I'm paying it. Point blank period.
Right.
Whatever else is going on, I'm not dealing with it. I go out in 2 more weeks. I don't have to go out this week. Pay my
Right.
bills first. So what advice do you give or what suggestions do you have for people who are very skeptical with the auto pay or they have had experience with it? Because I know your credit score go up quicker when you do the auto pay than you do if you pay manually.
Right. It's just basically, even if you do auto pay and you had a bad experience, it's still on auto pay. So with the lender and everything like that, even if they see you're on auto pay and they started to make an attempt on it, you can always contact that creditor and be like, hey, I tried to make payment and you have them on auto pay. If they gave you a late payment or a 30-day payment, stuff like that, they'll pretty much take that off because you are on their, you do have some type of agreement or that you tried to pay. So if you wouldn't like that nature, you can just contact them that way. But if you really don't want to use auto pay, which I know a lot of people don't like to use auto pay, so I just tell my clients or anyone that really wants to make sure that they pay their bills on time is basically just go through all your bills and write everything down so you know specifically how much you have to pay and basically when you have to pay that. So that's basically like when you say you're budgeting. And so like with finance, I'm a big believer on budgeting because if you're a budgeter, you don't want to overspend. You always want to underspend so you can have some of that extra
Right.
money left you can use for savings and stocks and bonds or like just pretty much anything else. You just never want to reduce your budget.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You mute. We can't hear you. Hello?
I'm sorry, hold 1 second. Once I don't
You
I'm
good.
gonna go back. It works again? Okay, I don't know what
Yeah,
happened, but I'm sorry about that.
you good.
So I was saying that just basically you always want to budget and make sure everything is where it needs to be. So you can make sure you have those on-time payments because a big chunks of like on-time payments is like just one can decrease your score like 100 points. It's like ridiculous on how much one late payment can really affect one's person credit score. And so
That's true.
basically that's why I'm really big on making sure you have on-time payments because that's 35% of your score. And so, based on the score, 35% of that score is based on 24 months. So, within the last 2 years, to look at how you did on your payments for the last 2 years, that's how you get basically that score. But continuously to build it, you continue to pay it on time.
I don't know why you keep going out on us.
Yeah,
You must
it's
be
that.
getting like notifications. And when you get the notifications, they kind of mute you out a little bit.
Right. I don't know. Where they're going. It looks like it's spinning. It keeps spinning. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Me too.
Sorry. This internet's not
I,
really that good right here.
you're fine. Now,
Hmm.
let me ask you a quick question. Okay, so I know that also usage of credit card. That's why if you are going to be a credit card user, if you're one of those people who like to use credit cards. From my knowledge, it's great. It's good to have multiple credit cards at minimum. I mean, at maximum three, and spread your usage out on those three credit cards because when you just use one credit card consistently, that too can affect your credit score. And even though you're making your payments on time, it will still affect your credit score because it's showing more so of the usage versus your payments. And
Right.
I've seen that with my own from my own experience.
Right. And so basically, what I was saying before, I was never big into credit cards before as well. But then I figured that, like I said before, your credit usage is 30% of your score, which is 165.2 points or something like that on the credit score. So that means if you don't have credit cards, you're losing 30% of your score because it's not going to be allowable. So you're not going to have a really good score. So it's imperative that you do have a credit card, but you just know how to specifically use it. Like for instance, like I was stating before, if you had like $100 credit limit, you just want to make sure that you have it under that 30%, but it's best to have it under 9%. And so it's 2 days with credit card payments. So you have your due date and you have a statement day. So basically, the
Right,
statement day is a couple days before the due date, and that's just telling you you have to pay this amount, which is most of the time, if it's minimum days, it's like $25, something like that. But the most
right,
important day is the statement day. Like I was saying earlier, that the statement day is basically the date that they're going to take whatever your balance is for that card and they're going to send it to that credit bureau. And that's what's going to
right,
see if your score is going to go up or it's going to go down for your utilization. And so
right.
you just want to make sure it's definitely you always just want at least under 30%, but ideally 1 to 9% of the utilization. But it's good to have multiple cards or like multiple accounts. So like it depends on like what do you want to do in life. Like if you want to get like 800 credit scores, like I think the average for users is like 15 accounts. So you need at least different accounts to help your credit score go up. You just want to build on it basically. And so when you just build that over time, a lot of people just think that it's going to instantly change overnight. Like you
It
can
does.
take your credit score up in one day and one night is terrible, but it's definitely going to take you time to get back or jump back because that's just basically how the algorithm and all that works. It takes time for you to get your
Right.
credit back. And so that's why I just say for people, a lot of people don't know how to manage it. So basically, I'm just here to drop a lot of gems and there's different things like that to help inform people about different things about credit so they can have good credits. And a lot of people don't know that you can use your credit to like different things. You can leverage it and so like use it for better, like make extra passive income and just different things like that. Because basically, in the world, everything in the world, basically, United States is debt. It just matters when it's going
Yeah.
to be good or bad debt. It's just very much how you're going to use your debt. Are you going to use it to like buy the latest clothes? Or are you going to use it to like and for your business? So like different stuff like that. We're all going to pay debt. It's just like what type of debt are you going to use it toward and paying?
Yeah. And on that note, business credit is very important and essential. And a lot of people don't know how to separate business credit from their personal credit because they don't realize that their personal credit doesn't have to intertwine with their with their business credit. It's supposed to be two separate entities. That's why I always tell people do not use a TIN. You
Yeah.
use a TIN, whatever going on your business is going to go on in your in your personal, and don't do sole proprietary either. But
Mhm.
you do sole proprietary, it's going to happen the same way.
Right.
So enlighten people about the difference between business credit and personal
And
credit.
personal credit. Okay. Basically, so when you have business credit, you have your EIN and all that good stuff, all your documentation stating that everything that you need for your business to run. And so with that, you have different tiers of credit that you can get for business. And what people don't understand between business credit and personal credit, business credit gives you way more credit lines, way bigger credit lines than what you would personal. And so on the personal side, like they were talking about utilization, you can't use under 30%, but it's totally different when it's business credit. They actually want you to use your utilization. They want you to use your money, your funds. They'll give you more as long as you pay them back, and you have to pay a small percentage per month to pay it back. But it's good because basically you don't have to put all that on your personal credit. You have to ruin your personal credit. Everything going to your business credit, and you can use all
Yeah.
that. Well, I guess it's a quick way, I guess, of putting it.
So, how long have you been doing credit repair? And I'll let you answer that question, and I'll go and elaborate on something else that you
Right.
stated.
I've been doing credit repair for wow, was it 2021? I went into business officially within the last year, 2020, at the beginning of 2020. But I've been doing credit repair probably for the last 3 or 4 years, like just on the side, just helping people out and stuff like that. And so I actually was actually liking it. I was doing it. I was just like, wait, I want to make this a business. What am I doing? I could be using this to my advantage. And so I actually did it. It's actually been going very well for me. And so I'm just here actually this year just trying to help 100 different families on how to improve them and get housing or cars, pretty much whatever they want to. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, something that you said that I admire is how you waited to see how it worked for you and how it worked for
Mhm.
family members and friends before you took off. Because, like
Mhm.
we were saying earlier, you got people they'll watch a few videos or they go by hearsay and then they think they're expert,
Right,
and they be giving wrong information because they're really not. They didn't study and research it or go through the process themselves.
right.
So with you going through the actual process yourself and knowing what it takes and what they look for and everything, you're able to definitely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, explain it to people and teach people what you've learned from, you know, having issues with credit, how you say your score was like four something,
Yes.
and how you got it to where it's at now. And I think a lot of people don't understand that just because somebody research and study something doesn't make them an expert in it.
Right,
Because some people they don't comprehend well.
right, right. So true.
They don't comprehend well, and then and if they don't understand business terminology, because there are some words that we use in just general language, but in a business setting, it means something totally different.
Right,
You know, it just like we say divide, divide. It seems like it just means divided, you separate, but it's something totally different in business. You know, um, And I learned that through business management, studying and going to school for that. And then I got a business terminology dictionary, and excuse me, I learned that a lot of the same words that we use in general, when you're using it in the form of credit to financial institutions and stuff, it can mean something totally different. And I was just like, wow, it really blew me away. So, can you elaborate a little bit on that in some things that you have seen as far as terminologies that people have to really be aware of and how it's used and pertained in their credit versus just their average everyday life?
Right. So basically, it's a little much different things out here that people do. Like that's why I say, for instance, like it's not everyone's credit report is different. Everyone is totally different because not everyone has the same different type of accounts. Everything doesn't do the same thing. They didn't pay loans, different stuff like that. So everything is pretty much different for everyone's case, base to base. But it's because it just depends. Like some people, if like let's just say, for instance, like if you had different collections or different stuff like that, like collections are basically when your account goes negative off of account. So like usually mostly 150 days, 180 days, and they charge it off and they send it. Sometimes they can sell it off to a collections agency. That's when collections agencies get it. So when a collection agency gets it, they basically pay for pennies on the per dollar that they get it from the original person. But most of the times in law, they have to follow a law. So it's called the FCDCPA that they have to
Right.
follow. And so when they follow, that's most of the time when they get a collection, they don't have all the documentation or paperwork most of the time that's needed for them to collect on the debt. And so like it just everything is different. So different laws if they do that. But if it's like your regular credit report, you can just follow the FCRA. And basically that's pretty much where everyone has to follow that. And if it's billing, you follow FACTA laws. And so it's just basically a lot of people don't know understand like basically if you wanted to do anything in life and change it, you can just do it as long as you can study or different things like that. You can always study the laws and stuff like that. But if you don't know how to basically um, do the
Apply it.
you apply it the right way. Because if you just say, for instance, like in credit repair, if you don't send the right letters and all different like that stuff, you're not actually going to do well for it. It's not really going to help you out unless you know the laws. Because the only thing I can get it off is they have to figure it's unverifiable, unverifiable or something like that. If they can't verify, they have to take it off your point. Or if they don't do to follow the law, they can get it taken off your credit report that way as well. And so if you just send them the right letter and the different verbiage and all that good stuff, you can basically have a good fight with them. But most of the time, they'll fight with you. And so if
Yeah.
you don't you can fight with them. So, and if not, you can always follow the FCR, the FCA, and stuff like that. They have to be governed for all that. But basically, it's just a lot of different things. It's hard to say specifically. It's everyone's just basically different. But if you just follow basic steps and stuff like that, you need to do. Just basically, just know. Yeah, the five things that you need to do for your credit score, like 35% for utilization, for 30, payment history, all that stuff. That's going to help you mandate. If you pay your bills on time, keep your utilization low, and just continue to pay. I say don't close old accounts if you let them stay open, because when you do that, you mess up your payment history. And so
Mhm.
just stuff like that is just different. Uh, the different verbiages and stuff like that. I saw a lot of different verbiages. Like if a collection people call you in between, they only can call you between 9 and 8 a.m. So like that, you can sue them for violations. So violations for the FDCPA they don't follow, that's $1,000 per violation if they don't do it. So that if they continue to call, you can just send them a cease and desist letter. And basically, a cease and desist letter is saying, I'm reading you in writing that I don't need you to contact me unless you states that you guys want to do sue me or anything like that. They can't contact you unless it's for a specific reason by law. And that's what helps stop debt collection agencies. So that's one of the things that you can do and different things like that. And if you want to pay before paying a collection, I'm big on make sure if it's a collection agency, make sure that they have the following things that they needed so they know the debt is up to them because a lot of the collection companies will say, oh, I own this debt. And then you pay them, and then you go to original credit. But you're supposed to take that off, and they be like, "You didn't pay me." You know what I'm saying? So, in law, they have to get it sent over. So you just send them over a debt validation letter, and so you make sure they validate your debt and make sure that's your debt, and you can just go on from there. But I'm not big on paying for collection because even if you pay a collection, it's a negative close state. So it doesn't matter anything. If you pay them or whatever, it's still on there for 7 years. And so it doesn't matter if the balance on the collection is $0 or it's $1 million. It all weighs the same. It's a negative account that won't go. That's why I say I'm not big on paying them unless that you,
Right.
if you paid them, just make sure that you get a letter. First, make sure you get a letter. Say it's called a pay for delete. Make sure that if you
Right.
get in writing, that's going to say how much it is, when you're going to pay it, and then after the payment is taken, you're going to take it off my report. Because a lot of them will, you can call them on the phone and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to pay this. Oh, I'll give you $200, and then you give them $200, and then you be like, oh, you said that you were going to take it off, and then they're going to be like, I never said that, and what do you have to do?
Right.
There's no proof, and so the best thing is always, I never call a collection agency. Do everything in writing.
Right. Never
Call a paper
call them.
trail. It's a paper trail. You can't fight a paper trail. You know.
Right. That's true. We have Shatima Bostic. She asked a question. She states, "What should a person with good credit not? What should a person with good credit do not do
Oh, I see it. To
to
do
receive large credit limit?"
basically, okay, let's say for instance, if you have good credit, do you have a if you have a certain amount of credit limit. So basically lenders nowadays, it's corona, so they're looking at how well good of your credit is, what are your balances, or how much utilization, how high your limits are. But if you're a person that doesn't really have high limits, if you have good credit, you can get higher limits. You just make sure that you still, because let's say there's different things, like I know different people can use, like there's different sites that give you like higher limits, like you can use a jeweler sites and different sites like that, and they'll give you $5,000 or $10,000 limits and stuff like that. And so even if you have those, I call those cushion accounts. So
Hmm.
cushion account is basically like I told you with the 30% utilization. So let's just say if you
Yeah.
have a credit card that doesn't have a high limit, it says like $1,000 or 500. Or if you're just beginning credit cards, you got a secure card. Secure cards, you pay $200 down, you get a card limit. But after that,
Right.
the right card, they'll make it an unsecured card. But when I say if somebody who just starting out, they just got a car that's like $200 or $500, I would actually advise them to get like a cushion account. So the cushion account is like the $5,000 or $10,000 limit extra on there. So it's going to report as a revolving credit. So you're going to have exactly those $5,000 or $10,000 limit on there, as well as whatever your balance is. So it's going to keep your utilization down, but as well, it's going to show that he has high limits. They have high limit, but they have utilization. So when you have good credit and you have those high limits like that, they'll actually give you a higher limit because they know that they can trust you and use it.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Now, in the cushions account, how and you did give some sites that people can go to. Is it easy to get credit cards through them though? Because say for instance, um, I've seen this happen where there are people who have really great credit
yeah,
and they have a great credit history,
right,
but they would be turned down for a department card.
right,
Department credit cards are the hardest cards to get, but if somebody scores in the 800s and they get denied a
right.
credit card with the department, what do you think? Now, I have heard, and let me just say this, I have heard, I don't know how true this is because I've never been in this situation, that if you have a credit card and it's up under a particular bank and
Right.
you apply for a credit card with another company and that company has uses that bank under that, for that credit card,
Hmm.
you can contact that bank and tell them, be like, look, you guys approved me for this credit card and I've had no issues. I paid, make my payments on time, et cetera, et cetera. And
Right.
they may be able to push your approval through. Have you heard of anything like that? Have you experienced anything like that or not really?
Yeah. So, which a lot of people don't actually know. So when you do credit cards, and so, credit cards are using an algorithm. You do it online. So when you do it online, it's a computer, right? Which people don't understand is, when you use it, if you get denied, there's actually a 1-800 number where you can actually call for each different creditor and stuff like that. They have a 1-800 number where you can actually specifically exclude your case with a numeral person. There's a person that you can basically talk to, and that person actually can change your denial to acceptance. But a lot of people don't understand that, there's people only know like the three top credit bureaus. There's actually
Right.
different called debt collectors and different stuff like that. They have
Mhm.
like debt furnitures. So debt furnitures will be basically people. who goes out and just researches and get information on you and sell it to the credit bureaus. That's how sometimes they can verify you. And so most of the time people only know about Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. But actually some people don't even know about another one. It's a fourth credit bureau that's actually was
Yeah, it is.
Innovis. People don't even know about it. You should definitely pull your report for Innovis. And there's all
Mm.
those debt collectors things. If you just look at it, like I do restore, I do whole restorations. Like most people just do credit, they just do the top three. Not me. I'm going to do everything. I'm pulling all your reports. It just depends exactly what's on it because you got core logic, everything. If like you have a banking account, people who get like declined from banking accounts, it could be something that happened a long time ago that they don't know from that data furniture who got it. You have to basically they have to follow the FCRA just like the credit bureaus, and you pull the reports from them and you just dispute it with them and you take it off of there. And then you can just go to the big three credit bureaus and then you're like, oh, I verified it. How'd you verify it? And then after that, they can't verify it after that. It's not, they bought it, they got it from someone else and you took them away and you fought it for them. So basically, they'll get taken it off that way. So a lot of people don't know about the back ends of it's not only the top three, it's more than just the top.
Right.
You have to get your information from, like, I say a lot of people don't know about LexisNexis. I'll actually pull those. And
Yeah.
so many different ones. That's why I was like, it's just too much. Each, it just,
LINUX. Yes, that's true.
right.
That's true. We have another question
Yes.
by Fatima. She says, she said, I get many credit card offer, but the limits are generally $1,000. And she wonder why she doesn't get a larger offer with her credit score being about 760.
Okay, your score can be 760, but it depends on what's your profile. Like for me, instantly, like when somebody comes in, they show me their score. I'm not really big on the score. What I build
Right,
profile. So if your profile is good, your score is going to reflect what's on your profile. But you can have that 760, but it just depends on if you have a thin line of credit, like thin profile. That means you don't really have that much on there or stuff like that. And quite frankly, now the offers is Corona. So it's actually hard to get really good offers nowadays because I know people, a lot of my customers and clients, like they had $10,000, $20,000 limits and they ran it up and they paid it off. And then next thing you know, they look on their bank statement and they cut it in half, three-fourths of it's gone. They go, now it's at $1,000 and stuff like that. So banks are actually trying to make sure nobody just gets all this money and run it up. They're going to be losing their money. So it's actually hard to get like good limits and credit limits nowadays because of the coronavirus. So it's really beating people down on high limits and stuff like that. But you can get high limits though. It just depends on like if you really want to, you can always contact me and I can actually help you look at your profile. I can't what I don't remember her Shatima. I don't know if I said it correctly, but
yes,
yes,
Fatima.
you can definitely contact me on like social media or my number or anything like that. I'll actually help you look at your profile and we can see what's happening with it and I'll help you.
Okay. You heard that, Shatima? You can contact him and he can actually go through your profile with you because he's stating that even though your credit score is 760,
Right.
they look at your overall profile,
Yep.
which has other information on it that you wouldn't even know that they have. And see, that's something that a lot of people didn't know because remember, generally, they will always teach you about the three credit bureaus.
Yep.
And a lot of people didn't even know about the FICO score. They didn't know about the Lexus that you have mentioned. It's other things that they look at that determines that that's why there's a such thing as a consumer report. Because
Right.
those consumer reports shows a pattern
Right.
of not just your spending, but your living. If you moved a lot, if you have made too many changes, if you have had too many different jobs, it's all of those things shows on consumer reports, and all of those things build your profile, and
Right.
that gives them an idea of about you and your habits and things. And so if they don't feel like you'll be able to manage that, even with your expenses and stuff, they would those things can be brought into consideration as well.
Right. That's so true, and that's what the difference people don't understand FICO and a Advantage score. So FICO is the your number one score that you like because that's what all the lenders look into is FICO. But the Advantage score came from for people because you only have to have a certain amount on your profile to get a FICO score, and so a
Right,
company they changed it and made the Advantage score, and so you don't have to have that much, and they'll give you a score. And so that's how people look on the scores. But basically, it just depends what's on your profile. But a lot of people go off their Advantage score. But when you go into a lender, like you want to get a car or a house, they're not going to pull your Advantage score. They're going to pull that two, three, or four FICO score. They're going to pull it.
right.
there's 10 different FICO score algorithms now. So, but they pull, I think, 2, 3, and 5. I think it's for like mortgages, something like that. So, basically, I just see basically what people want in their life, like what's their end goal, and then you pull from that thing and you see what's on it, and you just basically do a whole restore on your credit. And just basically what I do is I teach you how to manage your own credit, so you don't have to come back and see me again. But I know if you came back,
Yeah.
like charge you again now. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna teach you harder this time. I'm just gonna pound it in you. But for me to complete mine, I do a whole restoration, man. I want you to go out and be great, like good credit and
Right.
bad, two different types of lifestyles. Like when you got bad credit, it's bad for you. You pay a lot on install like interest, your APR is so high, and you're gonna pay a lot over the extension of the loan. Like for instance,
Right.
you got bad credit, bro. If you're trying to get a house, oh, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars you're gonna pay in interest alone. And because of the
Yeah, that's
yeah, you're
true.
gonna 20-30% interest APR rate. Like, what are you gonna do with that? Like, come on, you're almost buying
Right.
another house with your interest rate. But a good one will definitely change your whole lifestyle. You can
It does.
uh,
It's a significant difference because one of my sisters' best friends, she's actually a real estate agent.
oh, okay,
And, she's always been very tight on her credit and stuff and making sure, she knows, I mean, she's like a genius. I told her she probably needs to do something like that as a part-time business because she's real educated like you on credit. But that was something that she, teach people and was telling people, her clients who want a house, she would let them know this is what you need to do,
right,
to get your credit score up. Because if you don't, your
right,
interest rate is going to eat you alive. Like you're
yep,
going to be paying your house. If your house is already $250,000 and your interest rate is 32%, that's you're literally just giving away money.
yes, a lot
You're
of money,
you're giving away money. You're taking that's what's that? That's like giving them almost $75,000 to $100,000 more
more money.
for a
So
house. Yeah, just because of your credit score, when you can make, and you know what I found out, a lot of people, they just need to make minor changes. And how we're saying, like, people spending habits, their budget, how you were stating
right,
earlier, their budget, and not spending above their means and not trying to live above their means. I think
right,
that gets people in debt more than anything when they're
yes,
trying to afford all of these labels, name brands, major name, your money doesn't flow like that. I guess they feel, well, I got power. I got this card. It's my power. Swipe.
right,
But they don't think about the consequences that come behind that. And like you said, how banks now are putting limits because of the coronavirus. And
right,
that's why a lot of people are stuck in debt now
yes,
because they took advantage of a situation and pretty much abused it. They didn't just take advantage of it, they abused it. And
right,
now they're paying for it.
exactly. Well, it's making pretty much not them now. Everybody's paying for it.
Yeah, everybody's paying for it.
For it now. But yeah, that's I'm big on credit, and I think actually this time now before the corona, I'm big on like if you fix your credit now. When the time is bad, so when it does come, ooh, you're gonna be ahead of the game. You can pretty much do anything because, like, if you got good credit, like now, if you had just anything, just good credit, yo, you can get. Well, I'm big on like for people who want to get like homes and houses and stuff like that. Like, if you're just like younger or whatever it is, if you don't really want a house, why don't you just, if you got good credit, why don't you just get a duplex? Bro, you
Right,
can take that duplex and get somebody to rent it out. And they can be paying like your rent for how much you pay for the mortgage. And you can use that money that you can do. You can save that money. You can flip it, use different stuff like that. Why don't you just start building wealth? As I said, people will just use your credit. Use it. You can get it. It's a lot of ways to make money. And a lot of people don't.
right. That's true. That's so true. And that was something with I know I went to school for real estate as well. And I also worked in real estate as marketing. I did marketing and I did surveying where I assess property to see how we can increase the value of the property without paying a whole lot of money.
Right.
And with that, one thing that was learned is you have when you have a house, if you want to get your house is mortgage is going to be way cheaper than rent.
Exactly.
So you can rent out your property. I mean, rent out your apartment or your town, preferably a townhouse or a condo versus an apartment. Because apartments, you don't want to do that, but you can do that with a townhouse or a condo.
Right.
and the monies that is being paid would pay your mortgage.
Exactly. Now you're saving.
Yeah.
That's like one of the people's biggest bill is your living. So you're gonna sit and tell me, oh, I can tip my renting and cut that out. Oh, you just made a big chunk. Now you can take that money and do whatever you want with it. I'm not saying that some people use and go do what they want to, travel. You can do whatever you want to. But what I say is take that money that you're gonna do for a year, whatever at that, and just use it and
Hold on. I'm sorry.
just
Cynthia Reed, Red, I really don't appreciate you coming on our live like this, being disrespectful, trying to market yourself. Baby, we don't play that here, okay? You need to take your little spamming ass and go somewhere else. Don't spam our live like that. This is not about you. If you would like to be on this platform and advertise your business and showcase your business, then by all means, you can go to the website and schedule an interview. But you would not come up on this interview and be disrespectful to Mr. Pickett when he's talking about credit and trying to finance, trying to market and promote your business. I'm going to remove your post and you getting blocked. Sorry, go right on ahead.
oh, it's okay. Wait, I don't remember where I was at. Oh, I was second talking about just leveraging your business and all that stuff. So just use your credit, just like that. Like a lot of people don't understand, like you can go to like car dealerships and everything with bad credit and pay, but if you have good credit, you don't even have to pay them up front. You can go and walk in. They won't even have to take your bank statements or anything anymore. If you're like, oh, you got good credit, you can go ahead. They're not gonna pay no down payment. You're gonna get a cheap car. Like for instance, I had this one lady, one of my clients, we just got there and she just got a Benz. Her APR is 1.69% on a Benz from
Oh,
Mercedes.
wow.
They did in financing in Mercedes. They did it, gave her 1.69% on a brand new 2021 or 2020. Sorry, she had it. Yes,
Woo.
yeah,
That's remarkable, right? Like for a biz, shoot. But it's just amazing how that makes such a difference. Just how your credit score is can make such a significant difference in
right,
how your how much you pay monthly, how much your interest rate is, and all of that stuff. Um I don't think a lot of people really pay that in attention because I know growing up, I'm gonna be honest, when I was growing up, I was never taught about credit because we didn't know any better. My
right,
family, very southern, didn't understand credit or anything like that. And they would be like, oh, well, just ignore the creditors. It'll go away. It'll eventually go away. After a certain amount of years, it'll go off your credit and you don't have to deal with it anymore. But what started happening is when the collection agencies, they will come, they start putting it on your credit. Now, I will tell you this though, which a lot of people probably don't know with hospitals, but I know that you know this with the hospitals. Hospitals are not legally allowed to turn your credit, your billing information over to credit bureaus. Collection agencies because of the HIPAA law. They're
yeah,
not allowed to do that. See, a lot of people don't know that they cannot legally do that
nope,
because they violate the HIPAA law, and you can
right,
actually turn around and sue them for that. And
right,
I have had to do that with a couple of hospitals because I'm going through my health and stuff, and I had to actually do that before, and I was just like, and when I let them know and explain to them what the government, I said, no, you guys violate your own laws. I
right,
said, this is the HIPAA law. This is federal law. You guys cannot disclose any of this is y'all showing my medical history, everything to these
right,
people. And you don't have the right to do that. I don't give you consent to disclose my
exactly,
medical record to people.
exactly.
So elaborate on that.
Basically, yeah, like she was saying, that's definitely a HIPAA violation because let's say, for instance, anybody, it's not no one's um everything is not for everyone, let's say that. So like your
Right,
medical and your health is not for everyone to know about. That's something you keep sacred. So that's actually
right,
that's what they made HIPAA for, so they can't violate you, but they actually will put it on you. But you can just send it, basically you can send in a letter to credit bureaus and saying, oh, that's a HIPAA letter, or you can send it basically to exactly to the credit and like you did, that's a HIPAA violation, then they're going to have to delete it off of your credit report because that's against the law. It's a HIPAA violation again. Where
right.
you're definitely not supposed to. So if you just get the verdict, you can just send them a HIPAA letter to the creditor, or if you want to send it to the bureau. It's like which one you want to send it into, because either way it has to go to the creditor. But it depends on who you want to
Right.
send specifically at first. But that's definitely going to get it taken off. That's a HIPAA violation. You're not supposed to
Right. Definitely.
that. There's only what they can enclose, different things they can enclose, but they can't enclose like procedures or anything like that. They only can put like, oh, this is the balance, but they can't actually specifically. You can't look into your report, or anyone can look into your report and will know, oh, that's the medical stuff. That's the violation of HIPAA. If you can
Right.
pretty much and state that out, like that's a collection or a doctor or something like that, that's against the law. You're not supposed to do that.
Right. Because what I did is what I did with the hospital, I said, what information are you guys sending to them?
Right.
So I said, how do they have my social security number, which is a HIPAA violation?
Right.
How do they know that I owe this money, which is for a medical institution? That is so. It's like, oh, where is well with billing, y'all itemize the bill.
Right.
So with you all itemizing the bill, that means they are knowing what kind of you guys put the information on the bill. Well, this is the treatment for this. That I had them. What I did is first. Let me tell you what I did. I had to trick them. I had them to send me the actual bill. I was like, send me the actual bill that you
Right.
guys sent to the collection agency. So
Right.
when they sent me the bill and I looked over the bill, I called them first because I wanted to confirm,
Right.
and I emailed them because I wanted to confirm in writing, have that paper trail.
Right.
And so then that's when I responded back and I let them know. I told them what the law stated. I sent them the link from the US from US.gov and
Right.
from the Georgia Department of Health, I mean the US Department of Health. I sent them the link where it states that they cannot legally
Right.
disclose my information because it violates the HIPAA law.
Right. You
And
get
I told them if they did not remove it, I was going to sue them.
exactly. Take that off. Take that off. Take that off.
That's
Uh,
right.
people understand. People just gotta know your rights.
Yeah, you have to know your rights because if not, they'll just take advantage. And a
Advantage.
lot of people don't know that they cannot legally disclose your information to no collection agencies because of the HIPAA law.
Yep. And a lot of people
You
don't.
know,
A lot of people don't understand. Like the credit bureaus is a business. They're here for
it
money.
is. It's a
It's a
business.
business. So where do they make their most monies off of? Off of people's or them messing your credit repair report up. So 3 out of 4 people's credit report has inaccuracies on it. People don't understand those inaccuracies make the other lenders and them look good because they have to pay. Like lenders have to pay the credit bureaus to pull your report and everything. So they get paid off of inaccuracies and people understand. They don't know if it's inaccurate or not. People don't understand it. So basically that's why I say we teach them. So you got to learn
Mhm.
some way and start some way. So look, we're here to educate each other, lift each other up.
Right. Yes. So,
Yeah.
guys, I want you all to contact him. All right, y'all contact Mr. Pickett. Let him help you guys with your credit. Let him educate you on information that you probably never knew about credit.
Yep.
How you can save yourself from getting in debt, and also having stuff put on your credit report that doesn't even supposed to be placed on your credit report.
Right.
And also there's even a if now depending on the college and it depends on the paperwork. That's why I always encourage people to read the fine print
Yes.
because
Yeah.
there's a certain portion of your say for instance if you have a disability, right, and you report that disability to your school because they have to make accommodations, and you have a student loan that needs to be paid because it shows that information, they cannot legally put that on your credit report because again that's another HIPAA violation.
Yep. That's correct.
you know so yeah, you're welcome, Shatima. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable, and he practices what he preaches, and that's what I love about him. That's why I wanted to interview him because he's someone who's actually been through all of this stuff, and so he
Mhm.
knows. He's not somebody who just guessing and just saying stuff off the top of his head. He actually does this. This is his
Yep.
livelihood. He breathes it. He
Yep.
sleeps it. He lives it. So, I definitely want people to become aware and understand how credit works and understand their rights. And he's definitely good resource for that. So if anybody wants to learn about credit, need credit repair, have need some consultation about credit, by all means
Yep.
contact Mr. Matthew Pickens. That's his number right there. It's
Yes.
toll free 888-457-4253. You can also go to his website, which is the same as the name. Like he make it real simple. You can't miss it. Pickett Credit Repair Solution
Yep.
dot com.
Yes, it is. And don't worry, for everybody, free consultations. I don't charge for consultations. So definitely get out here so we can definitely go back and forth. So
Yeah. Free consultation, guys. Free.
can't be
Grandes.
can't be free.
That's right. So y'all take advantage of it now, doggone it.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was really nice talking with you
Oh,
and
thank you.
interviewing you. I really appreciate you taking out the time out your busy schedule because you still trying to get out that cold car. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you go because I know you in that car like, woo, can we end this right now?
No,
And
credit
you
is
didn't want to leave. You didn't want to get out and accidentally, lose, connection and stuff. So I appreciate you
correct.
for making that sacrifice and everything. But yeah, you guys make sure you guys contact him. And Shatim just like, yeah, we love free. Well, I know that's right.
He looking for
Good
you.
free. It's
He
a
looking
good free.
for you.
It's not a bad free.
Right? Where I'm got
Because
some good
everything that's free is a good. So
true.
so
True.
it's a good free. But
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll be in touch. You go and get yourself situated for the rest of the night. And
Yeah.
thank you again for your time. I appreciate everybody who's watched and liked the video. Please make sure you guys support him. Go to his Facebook page, Pickett Credit Repair Solutions. Look, it's easy. Pickett Credit Repair Solutions for everything. His Instagram, his
Yep.
Facebook, his website.
Yep. You'll
It's
find.
simple.
Yep, I make it simple. Look, everybody don't know. They think credit is hard, but guess what? We're gonna do it together. It's a team effort, and I'm here for everyone. But I do want to say thank you for everybody who was listening, and I did have a pleasure of teaching everybody or anything else. If anybody did, just definitely hit me up, and we'll go from here on out. And I'll definitely teach you the game that you need to know so you can increase or do what you have to do in life to change your life. Look, I'm here to change
Yes.
lives. Basically, that's the slogan: changing people's lives.
Right. Oh, okay. Cool beans. Well, thank you so much again, and you have a great night, and we'll be in touch, okay?
Okay, you have a good one. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Take care. Good night. All right, guys. I'm telling you, I love informative information, and it's good when you have people who is willing to share the information, knowledge that they learn, to help others. Because you got a lot of people when they learn stuff, they don't like to share the knowledge to help others. They want to keep it all to themselves. But we have, Mr. Pickett, who is willing to share the information. So make sure you guys please contact him because, as you all heard, just in this segment, this interview, there are things that people probably didn't even know about, like other credit bureaus and other sources where your credit is pulled from, information is pulled from you when it pertains to getting a house or getting an automobile, and that determines how much you pay for a car as far as like your interest rate if you are or not approved for this house, for this car, for this loan, for this boat, for whatever it is that you're trying to get from a bank. Um, it determines because no matter what is being financed, it goes through a bank. And this is the information that the bank that is financing for this company or for that home or for that car or for that business that you need is the one that's looking at these reports and making those determinations. So you definitely want to make sure that you definitely go and check him out, please. Okay. God bless, one love, peace. And I really do appreciate you guys. And also, make sure you utilize my services. I do press kits. You need business consultation, provide that. You would like to schedule an interview, by all means, do so. If you would like to have a video, a live stream commercial ad, video ad, by all means, let me know. You can go to the website. It's very easy to find. It's not complicated at all. Here's the website right here, www.ZHEENLLC.com. And right on the homepage, all of the services, everything that we're involved in, you will see it there from The Gloves On campaign, which I really would like for you guys to support, is my Gloves On campaign. I'm advocating for those who are battling chronic illnesses and diseases. If you would like to be a sponsor or you would like to make a donation, you can go to our Cash App, our business Cash App, and make a donation. Our Cash App tag is $ZHEEN LLC. And if you want to make a donation through PayPal, you can do it through PayPal or you can go through our website and make the donation. But I definitely appreciate all of the support that I receive, and I really appreciate the love. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for Shatima for your questions, and I hope the information that you guys received was very helpful to you guys. And again, that's Mr. Matthew Pickett, and his toll free number is 888 457 4253. And you can definitely go to his website. It's Pickett Credit Repair Solutions.com. All right. So you guys take care. God bless. One love, peace. And I'm out like a light. If it let me out, it's probably gonna let me out.